What's up, guys? Before we get into anything, check out BX Bullet TV on Twitter. She's the one that gives the full breakdown of everything that's happened, like leading up to this. She can explain all of this better than I can. You'll definitely find more info on Josiah than I can give you. But again, I give a little background too here. But absolutely go follow her Twitter, and I think she has a Twitch and an Odyssey as well, so you can see right there. So go ahead, follow her. All of that. Check her Twitter out. She's the one basically that brought this to the limelight, and we finished the job. So check her out on Twitter, BX Bullet TV.
What's up, guys? Before this video starts, be sure to follow us on all platforms, including on Rumble, which you can find in the pinned comment. This platform has been giving a lot of people like us a lot of problems lately, and Rumble is a lot more receptive to free speech and whatnot. So be sure to follow us on Rumble. Any video on here you can also find on Rumble, and if you're looking for a video and can't find it on here, it'll be on our Rumble. So be sure to follow us on Rumble in the pinned comment. Like the video.
What's up, guys? A lot of you guys may know about the Gordon Flowers hoodie. However, we also have a Fried Pickles hoodie, as you can see right here, and Gordon Flowers sweatshirts that you can get in many, many different colors. Show your support for the Gordon Flowers movement and the PP movement by getting one of these. I can tell you, they are very, very comfortable. Like, in all seriousness, they are, and I actually do wear them. So be sure to get one of these and enjoy the video.
This channel is a group of investigative journalists who make educational documentaries showcasing and educating society, especially parents and legal guardians, about potential scenarios that result from young people and adults conversating online if left unchecked. We conduct thorough interviews with consenting adults in an attempt to understand their perspective on why they partake in these conversations online with people that are not of age. The goal of the interviews in these videos and the videos themselves is to gain an understanding of the perspective of the individual being interviewed, so parents and the rest of society can be educated and aware of potential thought processes and desires of adults online to unsupervised persons not of age. These videos are not to cyberbully, harass, degrade, accuse, or threaten any individuals partaking in the interview process or in the video itself. We do not condone any of these actions. These videos are strictly educational, and we grant full permission for academia, which is any classroom setting or in scholarly papers, to show or cite our videos. To ensure that these videos are strictly used for educational purposes, we strictly adhere to YouTube's community guidelines, such as not revealing someone's personally identifiable information, in other words, PII. YouTube defines personally identifiable information as their home address, email addresses, signing credentials, phone numbers, passport number, medical records, or bank account information. We thoroughly look at and edit our videos to ensure that none of this information about any individual is shown in our videos. To ensure extra privacy for each person that is a subject of an interview in any of our videos, as of September 1st, 2022, to thoroughly comply with YouTube's harassment and bullying policy, there will be no mention or information about the last name or first name of any person interviewed in our videos. Due to potentially illegal activities discussed in our videos, law enforcement in the respective jurisdiction we conduct these interviews in is notified of each interview and video filmed by us. We are not accusing any individual interviewed of being guilty or committing a crime. That is the job of law enforcement. We are not vigilantes, and we do not condone vigilantism or vigilante behavior, such as taking the law into your own hand or not notifying law enforcement when a suspected crime takes place. We are investigative journalists. Trigger warning. Some of what can be discussed in these videos can be sensitive to some, emotional, or stressful. The only goal of these videos is to educate the public. At the end of each video, as of September 1st, 2022, there will be an educational portion at the end to discuss what was talked about in the video and to discuss what people can take from that video and learn from and tell others about. Our goal here is to bring awareness and educate the public. Now the video will start.
Don't resist, you'll make it.
What's up, guys? In the pinned comment, join our locals. It's only $5 a month, and you get tons of exclusive content, including a fire lieutenant catch that has never before been seen on YouTube, and we cannot post till after his trial, 2.5 hours long. Awesome job, because he got arrested, and a bunch of Stinghouse content that definitely is safer on locals, including a new Stinghouse video in Toronto where it's absolutely berserk, on his knees and everything. So be sure to join our locals, and also you get to continue to keep this movement going despite whatever YouTube does. The power should not be in YouTube's hands to end this awesome movement that we have going. Arrests in 39 states should not be stopped by YouTube. It should be in the hands of you guys to keep this movement going, so consider supporting us. And also, you get to see a ton of content and exclusive live streams. Pin comment. So basically, here's a little backstory on this guy. How I came across this guy: a subscriber just messaged me about him, I want to say in either late September, early October, and he was absolutely bananas, just crazy, spewing stuff like anybody of any age could consent to anything, and that even people or people like with the lowest of ages can have free will to do whatever they want. Of course, I have to be careful because we're dropping this on this platform with my word choice here. But yeah, just basically advocating for what he called harm-free, as if it could even be harm-free. And so I had the privilege to interview the Messiah himself. Yes, he did refer to himself as the Messiah multiple times. He truly believes he's the savior and that he's like the ruler of the world or whatever. He is absolutely bananas. So I had the privilege to interview him, and I'm going to play a snippet of that so you can see what I mean with how crazy this guy is, and of course why I threw a decoy on him. His whole call, me and him, is on our locals in the pinned comment. If you want to keep supporting what we do and support our mission, if you want to help us try to get to 41 states with an arrest, join locals, only $5 a month. And it's going to be raised soon, but it's only $5 a month for now. And once you get it, you're going to stay at that rate. But if you want to see his full phone call with me and his full chat logs, all of that is on the locals. But anyway, I'm going to play a snippet without further ado.
And the adult doing more sexual things with the child than, like a kiss on the forehead. Of course, the parent would kiss his kid on the forehead. That's not, I wouldn't count that as being in love or sexualizing a kid. But I'm talking about, do you think if a 3-year-old says yes to, for example, being touched by an adult who wants to touch, do you think a 3-year-old, do you think that should be legal if a 3-year-old says yes?
If they both want to, absolutely, I support their decision.
Okay, but what capacity does a 3-year-old have to understand?
An infinite capacity, freedom of choice.
Right, but a 3-year-old can't even define or spell the word laptop or computer.
That's actually an assumption, and that's the thing
Well, it's
about.
it's not an assumption. It's what I've seen with.
Yeah, so as you can tell, this guy is freaking bananas. Hard to even debate that. It's just like insane having that conversation with him. So if you want to see that full 50-minute phone call, 50, that's on our locals in the pinned comment. So be sure to sign up for that. Help us out. Help us continue to catch people like this guy, because without you guys, we can't do it, because unfortunately YouTube's policies absolutely are slanted against what we do. And it doesn't help that, there's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. But yeah, be sure to join the locals if you want to see that full call. So anyway, next, what happened is after that call, we all know what he is. So I decided to go throw a decoy on him, and we added him on a very popular social media site. Well, I'm sure when you see the chats, you'll know which one it is. I'll just say Instagram. And we proceeded to talk since October 12th and up to January 26th is when the conversations progressed. And in those conversations, he got extremely graphic and very escalated with what, and even going after and lusting after our quote-unquote 5-year-old sister. So I'm going to show part of those chat logs right now. And again, those full chats will be on locals as well. All right, guys. So, of course, after that call, it's very obvious why I would throw a decoy his way. So anyway, we follow him on Instagram, and this is what happens. So we'll get right into it. So anyway, the full chats, of course, are on locals. Of course, if you want to see his uncensored catch, and if you want to see some Stinghouse catches that, of course, I feel safer not posting here. Anyway, these are his chats right here. So he messages, "Good job." We say, "I'm 13. How about you?" And he says, "Awesome. I'm infinite like you in one grain's perspective. And I'm 36 in human years." So he already starts talking about just how he's starting the Garden of Eden, he calls it. I mean, just absolutely crazy stuff. And, just think we had to deal with this for 3 months. And just all this profound stuff. And here he says, "And I'm super cool. I'm the Earth's true Messiah." Just crazy. And he said, I am a god and you're a goddess, and we're both part of the god, which you would also call the cosmos, or what I have titled it as universal consciousness, which is an infinite democracy made up of infinite dictators. You dictate your votes, and it's universal democracy, and you always have my support for anything you want to do. So as long as it's harm-free, the law is simple and for everyone's best interest. And, well, this was the second time I've been called a threat to a democracy. With this guy, well, not with this guy, but you know. But anyway, so skip through some of the chats, and so this is him talking about one of his victims here, but how this 14-year-old sends him some stuff, and here he refers to our 5-year-old sister, quote unquote, as sexy. He says, your little sister is really sexy too. Can I save her photo? She's so pretty. And we say yes. And he talked about how he loves her eyebrows and all of that stuff. And again, this is our 5-year-old sister, you know, of course, assumed 5-year-old. So again, if you want to see his full chats, they are on the locals in the pinned comment. So, yeah, you can check them out. I'm not going to go through all of them here because, again, I didn't drop out of college to read more essays. So you can go check them out yourself. And without further ado, we'll get into the video portion. But yeah, so after all of that chatting, we do set up a meet with him at Safeway. He wants to take us on his mobile scooter and go to God knows where. And yeah, so here's the video.
It's going to be to the right past the door. Right here, around the corner. Right here on the corner.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Nice to meet you, man.
Hey, yeah, it's good to see you on video too.
Good to see you too. Yeah, so I got to talk to you about some stuff going on.
What's up, man?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of curious, dude. Like, I'm just here to talk to you about what's going on, stuff like that, all right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Dude, it's beautiful out here, man.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Dude, so you're working
Did you fly in or you?
Yeah.
Well, good to have you here. Aloha.
Yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you.
aloha.
Welcome to Hawaii, everybody.
Yeah, and you know, obviously the camera's just going because, you know, you were both like content creators, stuff like that. And
Absolutely, yeah. That's good.
So, I mean, dude, yeah, it's like very cool out here. Everybody's so nice, man. Everybody's like kind of like you, just very nice. And
Aloha
everything.
Spirit, yeah.
Aloha Spirit.
It's like Southern hospitality and Holy Spirit, absolutely.
Southern hospitality with slightly less greasy food.
That depends on where you go. You know, you are right, actually, from the history that I'm aware of there.
Mm-hmm. So, I just got to kind of talk to you about Maddie and her sister, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just have these messages here, and, you know, I know you all have been talking for the past couple months.
Yeah, we have been. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm just kind of curious because, you know, obviously I'm sure you know what I'm talking to you about here. And,
Absolutely, yeah.
and you know, there's like, you know, obviously there's people that are really bad and there's people that are like, you know, like you guys say harm-free and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of more curious about that, okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, before we really get into anything, like, you know, how old is Maddie?
She said she was about 13 or 14 or so.
Okay. Do you assume she's one of those? You assume like she's one of those ages, 13 or 14?
That's what she said.
Okay. Okay. Got it. And how old is
her social media?
Yeah. And how long is your sister? Or how old is your sister?
She said she was 5. Yeah.
5 years old? Okay. Cool. Got it. So, I mean, so Maddie was talking to you, or was her sister talking to you, or just Maddie, or?
Well, mostly her sister. Yeah, just her sister.
Maddie's sister was talking to you? The 5-year-old?
No, Maddie.
Maddie was talking to you? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it. All right, cool. So, I think you'll start talking in like October?
Somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. Got it. So you say, good job, Maddie. And you say, yes, I'm 13. How about you? You say, I'm infinite like you, and 1 gram respect and 136 in human years. I was born. So you're born 1986?
1986.
Dude, I'm born. See, I'm born like 2000. You look a lot younger than I do.
I'm still trying to grow a beard, buddy.
Really? Well, I wish I could trade, man.
Well, we're the same age, actually.
We are?
And if you would like to, you could actually change the way you look. Absolutely.
How so? Well, going to the gym, right?
So, well, we're all gods in a way.
Uh-huh.
And even in physics and science, biology,
Yeah.
chemistry, you choose actually how you look, like how you dress and what you do and what you want in life.
Yeah.
And all of those choices that you make actually, they're part of who you are.
Uh-huh.
And you could say physically,
Sure.
and through mathematics, and consciously through psychology, that you're all a result of your infinite previous choices, which also includes your intent and choices for the future.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, I think there's some stuff that you talk about. So, are you like the savior, or are you like a god, or?
I am Earth's true Messiah, buddy. Yeah,
Okay.
it's awesome. And all of you making good choices are as well, you know, by the definition of Messiah, which is to be a spiritual leader, which everyone is actually supposed to lead themselves, of course.
Okay.
And set a good example.
Awesome. So, I mean, it was talked about like very nice stuff. Like I'm buying some lava color in on the Big Island, turning the Garden of Eden. So, what's this Garden of Eden? Did you want to start the Garden of Eden with like Maddie and her sister? Or?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay,
Well, for
okay.
anybody that wanted to join,
Sure, sure.
I was planning on buying about 100 acres.
Did
of
you
land.
invite them to come join you, or?
I did actually,
Okay,
yeah. So
nice,
actually, everybody that wanted to follow the company, you could say God's company's policy, Skyview Design's policy.
Are you the leader of Skyview?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
I created Skyview
Uh-huh.
equally with all people. So you can say that everybody is a shareholder of Skyview Design.
Looks like the Green Bay Packers.
It's you could say a universal team if that's
Okay,
what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. So we don't compete with anybody,
Okay.
but we pretty much develop gifts. We invent and extend technologies, and we perfect things in a way as far as we recognize what is perfect.
Sure.
We enjoy it. We stand for it, of course.
Sure.
You know, the good human nature of all of us, and
Sure.
of all life, every age and every species. And we recognize when people have done harm.
Right,
Which, of course,
right.
we're talking about this in a loving way.
Sure.
And whenever people have done harm, of course, we want to make sure that those types of things are recognized for what they really are, if they aren't.
Yeah.
And so if there's any harm that is still being perpetuated,
Yeah.
of course, that would be, you could say, a constant problem.
Oh, sorry. Is it cool if we kind of talk like where it's like less loud?
I think you guys. Well, the thing is, I'm writing. I'm
Oh,
actually
yeah,
writing
yeah,
the
no,
true word of God right now
yeah.
as well.
I don't want to interrupt you. What were you saying?
Okay. Well, you can hear me okay. Right?
Sure. Yeah, I can just cool. Just get closer. Is it cool to get closer?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you, thank
you
you.
can get closer.
All
to
right,
me.
cool.
Yeah, and so what we do is we pretty much share intellectual content, like knowledge, and it's really easy to know exactly where the problems are coming from whenever it exists. Because you can feel it,
Right.
You know, and you can talk to the gods of the cosmos, and of course, people have said different things, so it's good not to confuse things or who's doing what.
Right.
And conversation like this is wonderful because that's a great way to be able to actually pinpoint exactly where the problem is coming from
Yeah.
if there is a problem.
Okay.
Part of what I'm writing now in the book is actually the origin of everyone, the
Okay.
entire family, and how things were before the first mistake was ever made. And it puts it in a lot of different types of perspectives, like analogies, technology,
Yeah.
circuitry, like conductivity, like
Okay.
of the person, like how you conduct yourself, the sacred geometry of the words and how similar those words and meanings and sounds are. Holy Spirit, all of that, what it means. And there is essentially an infinite period of time because the universe is infinite, so are we in an infinite amount of perspectives.
Sure.
And who we are, like I said, are a result of where we came from.
Of course.
There was an infinite amount of time before anyone ever did any harm. And then the first mistake was made. This is where some types of religious types of stories, like the story of Satan, the devil, and the Bible come from. That type of idea of knowing and acknowledging that something went wrong, like somebody made a mistake.
Sure.
Right? Of course, we came from perfection, so everyone would have to understand that everyone was omniscient. Everybody knew what they were doing, right? So someone made a sacrifice knowledgeable. So we want to make sure that nobody assumes anything, nobody makes any false or assumptions. You want to be honest and truthful.
Yeah.
And so when you are honest and truthful, that is, you could say, a pure good. And when you are a pure good of anything, like righteous, if you're, you could say loving. Loving is one of the keys that I use because that, you could say, is multifaceted with things like respect and dignity and and pleasure and enjoyment,
Do you think
camaraderie, and
Do you think you guys were loving with each other, like you and Maddie and you? Like, would you say y'all were like pretty loving with each other? Or?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, I was very proud of her. Some people actually contacted us to say that she was somebody else.
Really?
And they messaged with some kind of photos of other people saying that they were trying to do some sort of operation, like for an example, hunting, for an example. I think you use the word hunting as what you've done in the past. If you're the person
I
now.
wouldn't say hunting, more like just, some people I think deserve to be hunted, but others I think with you, conversation,
Okay, so that's the thing about it, is that by definition, hunting is one of the negative things. So
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say. I think you should hunt negative stuff, but I think someone like you is positive, who believes in harm-free and all that stuff.
So consciously, if you were to search for harm, that would be a mistake, because then you're trying to find trouble.
Sure.
And consciously, you're powerful enough to actually, if you're dishonest, right? If you're not positive, if you don't trust everybody, you can do it physically, the
Right.
physics equation of
Right,
this,
right.
or mathematically. If you don't trust everyone, and have, you could say, a knowledgeable sense that they are good people and are intending to do good, and you search for harm, then you are actually the source of harm in a named origin.
Oh, I can
And
absolutely
so-
see that.
Absolutely. So it's good for people to recognize that it can be worked out physically and mathematically and scientifically, chemistry, even just consciously, what the person knows that they're doing themselves. So it's good never to assume, and it's good always to simply trust linguistics and the words and what is actually happening.
Right.
So in the series that you've seen, that I've shared with everybody,
Yeah, like talk about harm-free. Good.
yeah, so it depends on the definition that you're using, which of course is why I cited the definitions.
Yeah.
So I use Greco-Roman definitions, which is one of the original definitions, which is spelled
Sure.
at the beginning
Right,
of
right,
it.
right.
And that meant things like child lover, child friend.
Would you say that's what you are? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love everybody.
Okay.
And that's healthy, so that's pure. God is love.
So you're
of
like
course.
the Greco-Roman definition of.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And every healthy person is, by Greco-Roman definition, of course, that was pure and harm-free.
Absolutely.
And also, too, the definitions found commonly on Google search engines, which a lot of people use Google.
Right.
And I'm thankful for a lot of the information, like definitions that they offer.
Yep.
Their definition is from Oxford Languages, and that actually defines sexual as something relating to the instincts. It has a lot of natural definitions, like how do you feel? Like,
Right.
do you feel compassion? Do you recognize the power and love and beauty and innocence of people of all ages? Children, other species, for an example, aliens in the rest of the galaxy, and there are an infinite amount of them.
Right.
You could also define us as alien, even just being separate people, of
Right,
course,
sure,
in a good
sure.
definition. So the purpose of the video is actually to share, you could say, the absolute detail of where all of us come from, what all of our purpose is, which is why it's called purpose, and the beauty of life, as well as being responsible and being here to do the right thing, because I was born at a time after people started making harmful choices on this planet.
Yeah.
And to share the truth in detail of where all of the harm that people have been experiencing has been coming from. So cognitive disorders, not being able to speak properly, not because of things like excitement, of course. Things like looking forward to something, anticipation, the vibrations of the universe, and that energy that life is about. But things that are guilty, for an example, like being fearful, being unclear, having things like dementia, having things that are considered disorders because their energy and their choices have not actually flown in the right direction. And we can see this systematically through things like behavior.
Right.
Now, people naturally do not like behavior.
Sure.
We can all agree on this.
Of course.
The thing is, historically, people have contradicted themselves on this planet. And that was something that we talked about. So I trust all of you
I trust you too.
to make the right choice. And I've given everybody the perfect systems for a one-world loving government with perfect law, a moral structure that is divine and original, for everybody to enjoy individually. And of course, as soon as someone with the funding or the time to code, and you can see that I'm working on multiple
computers, yeah.
absolutely, as efficient as possible, we can have absolute perfection, heaven on earth. That stuff that you guys dream about, the gods that you talk to that take you to faraway places, the things that make you cry tears of joy and know who you are in a way, you know?
Yeah, that's like kind of what I'm here to ask you about, because I'm trying to, because I see like you preach goodness and
absolutely,
and I'm just trying to get an understanding. Like I'm not, you know, obviously there are a lot of people that do judge you, and I think pretty wrongfully.
Everybody should judge.
Yeah,
yeah, it's making a choice.
Right,
yeah,
right. But they judge you in a way maybe that's a little bit misunderstood. And
people have said a lot of things that were inaccurate.
Yes,
that were not true.
And I just kind of want to get an understanding. Like, you know, I haven't really made my per se decision, but I think you're mostly a good guy and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I kind of gotta ask. So, you know, I do have a picture of your that you sent.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember sending your to Maddie?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What was kind of going on there?
It's beautiful. I'm interested into how you actually have our conversations.
Well, I just kind of intercepted the messages, kind of like the other guy did. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, again, I'm not looking at this conversation thinking you're a monster or whatever. I think you're a good dude, and I think I'm kind of here to just get your understand, like kind of me understand better, like this whole harm-free stuff. So that's why I'm kind of asking, like, what kind of compelled you to send a picture to Maddie?
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she wanted to have it as well. She enjoyed it, and it's art. You know, like you could go back to Greco-Roman statues. You know, things depicting the nude form, Adam and Eve. Before,
absolutely.
Before the story said that they were told to wear clothes, and I've had so much fun. I've gotten naked with my friends. You know, and it's beautiful. And of course, some of those natural feelings, of course, post-pubescent and even prepubescent, are very sensual, very loving. You know, hugging, kissing. You know, things that are romance. You know, things that are Kama Sutra.
I agree. I think that's kind of what I was curious about, because, you know, like I think you mentioned to Maddie in the chats here, you know, would you like to have? Do you remember asking that? Or?
I may have, yeah.
Okay. I mean, does it kind of ring a bell? I mean, you know, you said you're really...
I've asked a lot of people, actually. You could say yes, actually. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, because, you know, obviously you kind of know what I do, and there's a lot of people that want to girls, and there's a...
So one thing that you want to do is you want to be perfectly good and never, you could say, curse people. If you say there are people that want to people, you are actually using your word in a future definition.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I've confronted people like that before that are truly like want to kill people. Trust me, I've seen it all. But so
that's in the past. So that's different.
Absolutely.
You know? So if they did in the past, well, then that's different than saying that bad is going to happen in the future. So it's like trusting someone or wishing somebody well.
Okay.
If you wish the entire universe well, you know, then obviously that would be trusting and looking forward to good and giving them the love and everything perfect you can imagine for goodness, you know, in the future. Everything that would keep you healthy and strong consciously. If you were at any time were to say that harm would happen in the future, that is what you could say a curse in a way. Even if everyone else does not fall victim or corrupt themselves or make that saying true, and then that would leave the person as a liar, you know, like saying that some of these people, and then comes to find out everybody's actually making the right choice. And so that would actually stop progress in a beautiful way.
Right. No, I know what you're saying. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, when she was asked by you to, do you want to have, what was kind of the plan with that? Was that kind of like just she was okay with it, or?
Oh, if she wanted to. I mean, I understand. You know, I've been 13, I've been 14, I've been her age. You know, I know how I felt. I would have loved to have a girlfriend in different ways. I did in different ways. I watched when I was younger. You know, when I was younger. I mean, this is something that's very commonly known. So there's actually nothing wrong with sexual relations between consensual partners.
No, I agree. So,
of any age
so,
or species,
right,
actually,
right.
technically.
Yeah.
It's freedom of choice.
Okay. So with Maddie, it was going to be a consensual sexual relationship? Or?
Well, by Google definitions of sexual, that could be like this, like us sharing love. So
Yeah.
in a way, like you could say I'm heterosexual.
Uh-huh.
You could say in a homosexual way that is not through intercourse or anything genitalia related, that I love you.
Sure.
And this is a good energy, and you could say a monumental historical moment for freedom of rights. You know, things that have actually in the past really caused a lot of problems with children and young people.
Right.
Was actually saying consciously that they are not capable of making good decisions on their own.
Right.
Or saying that they're not capable of, having a harm-free life. So you never want to be fearful. That's what you know as like a Buddha, as like a spiritual leader, as a mentor, as a physics psychology professor. You really want to make sure that everything that you do is positive. As far as you never fear, for one thing. Fear is like a juxtaposition and a contradiction to love.
Okay.
And if anyone fears, then of course that would be something that would negatively affect them. You could say it would make them sick.
Right.
And so
because reading these, I really didn't get the thing that you were forceful or that you were harmful at all. And I really just looked.
No.
So basically, were you planning just to give her the freedom to have with you? Or?
Absolute freedom.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Okay, so personally, I'm really interested in as many people as possible, like yourself, helping share the truth with everybody on this planet, the good news, because...
Well, hold on. So basically, you guys haven't together. Would have been up to her to decide. You were giving her that choice, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much.
So your plan, if she was cool, if it was like consensual, then harm-free, or?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay.
All consensual harm-free, of course, in
Okay.
itself. I mean, obviously, if something was harmful, then that would be a different definition.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And then I think, that's pretty bad. So was the plan to have this harm-free with Maddie or with her little sister too?
That depends on them. Maddie said that her little sister wanted to be my girlfriend as well, which is adorable. And one thing that Maddie said in response to the person that was, you could say, intercepting our conversations in a way, was that she said she loves who she wants to, Right. And that's what the universe is about, things like that, freedom, what America is about. The United States of America.
Absolutely. And Constitution.
Absolutely. Freedom of positive speech, of course, absolutely.
So it would have been up to, also, if she wanted to, this 5-year-old to have you too, her little sister?
If she wanted to.
Okay.
If she wanted to, and of course it depends on how I felt about it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Honestly, I've had a lot of younger girls, like you could say children, as I was growing up.
Yeah.
And when I was in my teens, I actually dated a lot of older women.
Okay.
And so that was just my personal choice. I was into like people that were like twice my age in a way when I was like around 21 or so. And then I started shifting. I mean, it really depended on that energy, because not everybody was I sexually attracted to in like an intercourse type of way.
Yeah.
Some of which is very intellectual, some was very sporting, some was, there's just it's such an endless variety of frequencies and different types of energies that you can exchange that you could really love, like the passion to do good,
Sure.
and to provide a perfect future, which, of course, you don't really ever have to think about providing safety in a way when you actually do things perfectly, which is, you could say, the divine origin. So when people are completely harm-free and completely loving, for example, I'm not at all.
Right.
So
right.
I've been sharing.
You were going to leave it up to the kids to do stuff with you, or?
Well, of course, they're always free for their own choice. It's always their own choice.
Okay.
So what I was saying is that, essentially, you could say mechanically, through quantum mechanics is one reference, or you could say even chemically, right?
Yeah.
That wherever there is harm, right, is where the freedom ends. So you could say this quotation, freedom ends where harm begins.
Okay.
And it's functional. And so you want to have no fear, no doubt, no lack of knowledge or understanding, omniscience, omnibenevolence, omnipresence of law, and respect for the universal democracy,
Yeah.
and of course, the monarchy, which is love, you could say, what our purpose is, holistically. And when you do so, you actually create and develop in a type of divine way without any flaw.
Okay.
And that is understanding the truth of what has happened and understanding the perfection of what can happen. And that leads us to things like Skyview Design's GDVS system, our global democratic voting and communication system, with equality of vote per person, a ratified identification, and of course a harm-free loving architecture for everybody. New World Order. That is what we do.
Okay.
And and yes, we come from all over the universe, just like all of you. You all have divine origin, and it's really beautiful. And the governing democratic voting system is, you could say, a direct extension of perfect consciousness.
Okay.
So you, right now, you know, I know who you are, you know who I am, you know who everybody is. You know, you have a permanent history, which is so beautiful because the universe works as the best thing you could ever possibly imagine, of course, making the right choices. And I only say that because I still recognize that there is alcohol in this store,
Sure.
which is harmful.
Absolutely.
There is slaughtered animals, those are family members, there in those windows, that is hurting people. You know, it's a perfect monetary system, which is also our gold coin system, pure Holy Spirit. So those systems integrated together with our will system, our willing, intelligent, linguistic legend, which is, you could say, a mathematical AI of communication, where you can differentiate by definition what is a positive word or word describing a negative thing, which of course doesn't make the word negative. It makes the function of the action, you could say the existence of what the word describes, that is what is negative in itself.
Yeah.
Perfect systems.
No, I mean, I totally see what you're saying, and I think it's better that somebody has a conversation with you rather than just makes assumptions.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of you could say false doctrine. There's been a lot of slander. There have misinformation, which is also why Skyview Design also offers Skyview News. Now, all of our technologies we share open format.
Okay.
I've actually praised anyone, you know, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the billionaires, trillionaires, the Rothschilds, anybody that has the funding to actually, you know, build these systems, develop these systems.
You mentioned the Rothschilds were going to fund you, right?
The gods have been telling me that the Rothschilds have pledged $700 million. And they've actually said they've moved things around a lot. I have been very specific. You could say I've been very hardcore as far as I've been very adamant about how important it is that people stop doing the harm. Now, I trust people. The thing is, of course, I've been seeing it day in and day out. You know? So I continue doing the right thing. Well, I trust everybody to do the right thing. And this is what I do. So linguistically, what I say is, if someone does harm, or if someone wants to,
Sure.
of course, that is a crime. It is harmful. They will start paying for that harmful thought as soon as it reaches cognition.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of curious. So you mentioned you had a girlfriend named Carla?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
How old was she?
She said she was 14, actually, yeah.
Okay. And did you ever meet her in person, like on Earth here?
So I met her online, actually, not in like this kind of form. Of course, I mean, we're connected to everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
So you mentioned that she sends me photos of her face. And did she send you those photos of herself?
Yeah, she has.
Okay.
She has. Yeah, she sent me a lot of beautiful photos. Yeah, she shares some wonderful stories, some audio, and she was open to me sharing the photos with other people as well. She was very free-spirited.
Like basically sharing her nude photos with other people?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
okay.
Yeah.
Did you all video called before, you and Carla?
So we were planning a video call actually after my video call with Maddie, which I've been working to get it uploaded. Facebook, Instagram, and some social media sites have actually had problems with their systems working properly. So, you know, whether or not it is a third-party interception, you know, people hacking, of course, hacking would be wrong.
Yeah.
Of course, face-to-face conversation is important. That's a great way to do it, directly with your identification. No fear, no hiding, no lack of trust, like the GDS system policy and standards.
Yeah. What app did you and Carla message on?
Let's see, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said she was from San Diego, or?
Somewhere in California. Yeah. She was mentioning actually getting me a place in Mexico.
Okay.
Or something like that, which was pretty interesting. I was saying it'd be better to spend our money here because we can actually build on lava land here. I would recommend that if anybody wanted to develop or build a house, please do not do it by cutting down trees or forests. You would pay for that. It is a permanent debt. You can do this mathematically. So if every positive decision you ever make is one step forward, if you were to make a harmful decision in any equatable amount, and it's permanent history, it is equatable, right? Yeah. Part of your good conscience would actually reduce from that equatably. It is actually 3 steps. It's actually 3 steps to get back to where you would if you made one good step forward, and you would always be 2 steps behind.
Okay.
That's the physics and the reality on every detail, every part, every wave of your choices.
I really want to hear more about that, but real quick on Carla, just touching on it, not to make a joke here. Did you also send her?
I mean, that's a great joke. You know what I mean? As long as it's positive, it's humorous.
Yeah,
you know, it's just
sure. But did you send Carla your?
Yeah, I did. I sent it to a lot of people. I have a beautiful.
Yeah. No, I mean, if I was gay, I think so.
What did you think? I mean, it's pretty gorgeous. Yeah.
I mean, it's as lengthy as like your soliloquies and monologues, but
yeah. I'm interested. Very interesting.
Yeah. Is there any other basically kids that have talked to you online that you're sending to?
Let me see. Well, by definition, people have defined people of Carla's age and people of Maddie's age as children.
Yeah, but just people around those age. Have you sent anybody else that age? Or?
Let me see here.
Just curious who got to see that awesome
not recently. I mean, if they wanted to, I mean, for whatever reason.
No, not
anatomy
recently.
is beautiful.
Not recently, but what are the other times that it's happened, or that people have had the privilege of seeing it?
I've actually seen it quite a few times. So my girlfriends, that I've had serious relationships with, they've had photos.
Were they under 18 or?
Actually, no. So as far as people that were classified as children, by say United States definition, right? Under 18, which they call a minority, which is actually interesting by the definition of minority because definitions, right?
Yeah.
So let me see here. I have actually. I think just them. I've had sexual relations, as I mentioned on the video episodes. Pretty much everything in my history I've shared publicly on those videos, and I'm putting in the biography in the True Word of God so people can see it.
Have you had sexual relations with anybody else the U.S. classifies as a minor besides Maddie and Carla? And
the person that I mentioned. So on the Indian reservation. Yeah, a girl came over to my house while I was living there. It was really beautiful. It was interesting.
What state was this? Hawaii?
This was in Oregon, Central Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
And also in Malaysia. So once in Malaysia, she was 17, and in Oregon, I actually didn't ask her age, but she was somewhere around maybe 16 or so.
Okay.
Maybe 15.
How long ago was this?
I was around
in Oregon.
21 for Oregon, and then I was around. Let me see here. 24. 25?
In
maybe
Malaysia?
24, 25 in Malaysia. Yeah.
Okay. So in Oregon, you were 21 and had a 15 or 16-year-old? This was intercourse?
Full intercourse.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No, okay. She was just curious, or?
She knew exactly who I was.
Okay.
And it was pretty beautiful.
Did you end up taking pictures of her, or taking pictures of the
No,
camera?
actually we didn't take pictures, actually. At that time, I'm thinking about what my cell phone was. Cell phones were not like today. The cameras were different.
Right.
I love 8-bit poetry and 8-bit art and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Retro video games and things like that. You can see the difference in the technology. It's cool. As long as it's harm-free, it's beautiful. And that's what's so spiritually wonderful for everybody. And I'm so honored and so happy to share just all of this good news with everybody here,
Appreciate that.
And I do trust everybody to recognize that, the systems that I've shared with everybody in detail on the purpose and on Skyview Design are absolutely perfect. They are absolutely perfect. They are the systems of the gods and, everybody's best interest. So any individual can think of it themselves consciously and they can recognize the difference between personal personal style, personal choice, like what they want to wear or what they want to eat and things like that. Of course, respecting the universal law of making sure that what they wear and what they eat is harm-free. You know, like no furs, you know, no leathers, things like that. That would be very harmful.
Good. And I'm just sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. I'm just curious about Carla. I mean, where did you send her nude pictures? Because maybe I want to see them, so I don't know. Where did you send them?
So I actually didn't send them to anybody else. Actually, one of my friends, Michael Gravatt, who is somebody who was actually talking about coding the GDDS and gold point system.
Well, I'm just curious because you said that you shared her photos. I'm just wondering, like, who else would have them?
I actually didn't. Well, it depends on your perspective. As far as sending those photos to somebody,
sending those to somebody.
One of my girlfriends saw them.
Okay, so you took Carla's nude photos and sent them to one of your girlfriends?
I didn't send them to her through photo, but you can send it as far as like on the phone. Yeah, she saw it.
Send it on the phone. What do you mean?
Well, I gave the phone. I moved the phone towards her. So yeah, definitions. But by what you commonly mean, I did not email or send those photos to anybody.
Okay. So basically, have you sent like? Have any other people around like Carla's age or Maddie's age, what they would define as a kid, even though they may not be kids, but what they would define as a kid, like under 18? Have any of them sent you nudes before?
Some people call adults kids, you know what I mean? So
but has anybody like under 18 besides Carla sent you nudes before, or?
Let me see here. So in human form on this planet, through common types of media like JPEGs and GIFs on phones and things like that. I'm trying to think right now. You know, that's the thing. I mean, I've watched a lot. I've seen a lot of photos online. So a lot of people have sent photos or created photos, different types of media online that people can see. You know, you can just look it up, and cartoon characters of children, you know, people of younger ages, some really sexy stuff. You know,
have you seen any of like maybe like naked photos of kids just online?
Well, that by definition is child. So if you see, like, say, the Powerpuff Girls, you know, who are depicted as child girls, and they have cartoon depictions of it, you know, online, then that would be child. Which is beautiful.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
It's
I know
really
it's
cool.
You know, I know it's like harm-free.
It's like anime stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of anime.
Have you seen like any pictures of real humans under 18? Like any like child like humans or?
You'd have to check the IDs actually, you know, to see like what age they are specifically. There's been a lot of people that look like they could be under 18. There's been.
Did it look like they were creepy?
That's the thing. A lot of people kind of you know, display a prepubescent image by, you know, waxing or shaving or naring, you know. So
but
actually,
was there like any that you saw that was like, say, kid and adult or kid and dog or?
well, verbally. So Carla shared with me a beautiful story of that she enjoyed having performing or on someone that was actually older than her.
Okay.
And yeah, when she was younger, so like 8 or 9 or so, she's a very wealthy person. You know, she's had a lot of high energy. She hasn't been sexually oppressed. You could tell.
Sure.
Which is beautiful. And it's a wonderful type of conscious flow of energy. People that are familiar with chakras and different types of spirituality.
Yeah, because it's not. I always hear all this negative stuff about like, you know, child. And I'm like, have you seen any like what somebody would call child, where it's like the kids aren't being oppressed, where it's like the kids are freely having adults, or?
I know it exists. The gods communicate about it. People in different worlds. You know, this is something that's very common. Of course.
Have you ever just like came across it online or enjoyed it online in a harm-free way, or?
I enjoy people of all ages in a beautiful way. Of course. Let me see here. There was actually one of our neighbors in one of my girlfriend's houses, and she was younger, maybe around 5 or 6 or so. And it was interesting. She's very beautiful, and she's very beautiful and sexually attractive. And
This is one of your 5 or 6 year old neighbor.
She maybe 5 or 6 or 7 or so,
Yeah.
and yeah, she's very attractive. And I did think about her while my girlfriend gave me oral. Stuff like that.
Okay.
It was very powerful.
Did
Joyce actually went out onto the railing afterwards and loved the experience. She like proclaimed out loud, "He's a
something like that. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did what was the 7-year-old neighbor's name or the 5-year-old neighbor, whatever her?
Let me see here. What was her name actually? Donica.
Donica. Did you and Donica like ever have harm-free stuff together? Like y'all? Did you ever touch her? Did she touch you?
I actually bought her a toy. She wanted a toy, and I bought her a little plush octopus from Amazon, which you could say was a luxury because pretty much all of the money that I have, I have spent on everybody's best interest. So like the GDVS system, the gold point system, it's got to be designed what we've developed.
Did you ever share Donica like the gift of your?
Well, by Google definition, sexual, it's like a loving, intimate interaction, very special toy.
Did Donica ever have like the privilege of touching your penis?
No, actually. No.
Did y'all ever like hug each other?
Actually, I've been quite busy with my work, so I actually, like during that period of time, of course, time and the circumstance matters.
What state was Donica in?
What do you mean?
What state was Donica in? Like, was this when you were in Oregon?
Oh, this was here. This is not long ago. Yeah, and she moved to California not long ago.
Like this, like 2022?
2022. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was working very diligently on the book, like I am now, actually. So pretty much day and night for everybody. One reason, of course, I trust everybody constantly. It's really fantastic information. Like, to be able to perform miracles. I've played with the weather, I've prophesied thunder and lightning, on the spot, specifically in Malaysia when I was there. Actually, I went there to perform miracles. I did, so I came back.
Yeah,
to show the
you did a good thing there. Yeah,
absolutely.
I was kind of following you. You did a good thing.
Yeah, it's really good. And everybody's familiar with this. Telepathy. People are very familiar with telepathy. Different types of positions. So just because someone hears me speak through telepathy, and they don't notice that they are heard through telepathy, does not mean that we are unequal in a holy way. It just means that people have different style choices. So some people have accepted the opportunity to be a leader and a kind of public face like yourself, which is beautiful. It requires a lot of love to do that. And it also requires a lot of love for people to recognize, their beautiful individuality, uniqueness of what they can do on a day-to-day basis, to actually spread the good energy, and flow that prana,
You don't think like instead of walking on water, you may be like walking on thin ice, or
that's the thing about that, like walking on thin ice. I saw a polar bear actually pull itself across a very thin sheet of ice.
Yeah,
genius. When you watch the animals do things like that, how smart they are, like a perfect example. And it's wonderful seeing people on social media recognize it, and they recognize the skill and the ability and the consciousness of that polar bear spreading its weight out, dispersing it across, like the lowest point on the ice so that it didn't break the ice and fall through as it made its way across, like it was just effortless.
That's amazing.
And so that's the thing about it. Yeah, what I've shared. So when you're doing the right thing for everybody, you are the alpha and omega, you can say, of good.
Right.
And that line that is harmful, you do not pass. And so that's what's so important. So for an example, I ascended when I was 33. Now that's part of the prophecy in the Bible. Now the Bible has a lot of prophecy. You could say anything that anyone has ever said that is good will happen. And this is part of the beauty of, you could say, the original architects of the universe, which you are all part of. Anything that someone says will happen, that is good, will happen. Absolutely. It's a part of conscious physics. It's a part of like a wonderful wish list. The things that do not have to happen are the harmful things. And then that's where people that have prophesied things like Armageddon as being an inevitability have really hurt themselves. And so when people look at stories like the story of Jesus Christ and say that he has to suffer, or he has to be persecuted, or he has to be crucified, they are missing the fact that it is a crucifixion. It's a fictional story. And those types of things are of suboptimal context with a temporarily suboptimal conscious state of being because of things like accepting war, accepting behavior and things like that. And so when the gods are talking to people and sharing the truth, like, no, people should not be, they are not talking about a certain individual group of people excluding other people that have been, they're talking about all That's an example. So Josephus, for an example, is a person that was recorded in Greco-Roman history connected to Emperor Titus. And he was one of the people that wrote the stories of the Bible. Like, I'm writing this, but different, because they wrote it from a type of military, historical type of position, as the type of transcriptions have said, which of course you want to
curious about one thing.
Yeah.
So you mentioned when you got back to Honolulu from Malaysia, you got your devices taken?
Yes.
What happened with that?
So I returned. The Department of Homeland Security actually intercepted me. I was actually thinking when somebody came up to help me in, I was thinking, oh, great, like wonderful, like teamwork, you know, I was like, yeah, they're getting it, you know, it's wonderful, you know, like, wow, they're gonna help me get my bags, like, this is beautiful, this is the type of things that I do for people, you know? And they actually took me to an area and started questioning me. They wanted to search all of my things. I was as courteous and compassionate and as helpful as possible without actually becoming an accomplice to the crime that they committed.
What did they accuse you of?
Well, they said that I went to Malaysia on a tour, which that's the thing. To be clear and understand that linguistics and metaphors are very important to understand the purpose. So when I speak very literally.
Right.
If I speak in metaphor, I share it. You know, my language is diagrammatic. You know, it's very public. It's very transparent. I give you my name. I give you my address, lovingly and trustingly. You know, I give photos of my socks to people and things like that. Right. And so it's an absolute superpower and a natural innate just trust and a wonderful like welcoming. And you could say you know, with a loving urgency, you know, like there's so much heaven to enjoy that you know, let's do it, you guys. Like let's see the alcohol ended. Let's see the car crashes and the fatalities and the problems like the eczema, the acne, the stress, the depression. A lot of depression has been coming from alcohol. Part of that is because of how they harm the plants and how they harm the bacteria. Plants are sentient beings, the bacteria are sentient beings. We have bacteria in our bodies. This is the information I've shared on the purpose. It is so beautiful and so perfect as to how simple and genius and uncompromised and uncorrupt the justice system of the universe is. And the reason for it is so that everybody is always rewarded and wealthy and prosperous for every amount of good that they do, while of course understanding the way it functions with no contradictions, no dishonesty, no corruption, things that everybody knows are wrong. You can see where the problems have come from, like paying taxes that go towards wars that fund weaponry in Ukraine and things like that. Those types of things are quantifiable sickness. That's where disease comes from. The same thing with slaughtering animals. The golden rule's purpose.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask about
is
animals.
so wonderful. Yeah.
So you said there could be like a sexual relationship between humans and animals, like sexual as in like the intercourse way.
You can absolutely.
Have you had a nice consensual sexual relationship with an animal before?
I've had infinite sexual relations with everybody by the Google Oxford definition.
Right, like intercourse with an animal.
No, I haven't had intercourse with an animal actually. Yeah,
okay.
I'm thinking that's one that I'm thinking about. There's beautiful animals.
Sure,
you know?
absolutely.
One thing historically that has been, you could say, sad. It's been sad by definition, to be honest. People have abused animals. You know, people have abused animals. There's countries in Europe. You'd have to double check the country. It's all going into this historically, not as military, but as history, so that people can, you know, appreciate all of the good and recognize, well, why did it take so long, for an example, for rapture? You know, what happened? What do we not do again? What is the difference? You know, what is this? What is that, for an example? And any time that anyone does any harm, they're contributing, you could say, to a circle of death, you could say, because it's anybody that abuses their power loses it. And so everyone really needs to recognize when you slaughter animals, you know, even if it's packaged and it's branded and it's marketed like it's good, like from a rapper in Cristal, or, you know, Colonel Sanders or Ronald McDonald's and chicken and things like that. Those are very demonic mixes of things that are positive, like a funny clown, for an example, and something like a Happy Meal that is, by definition, not purely happy. And so when I share the truth with everyone, I am compassionate. I am very honest, and I'm very powerful. And it's wonderful to share that with everyone. And when people have actually not accepted the truth from messianic leaders of planets, now, not to scare anyone, but to empower you all with how much power you have. Things like global pandemics have broken out on planets like Earth because I gave people the answers years ago and throughout my life. From a child, I gave public speeches in the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses, sharing with people to do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. I traveled. I went to Europe. I went to Asia. I went to the mainland US. I traveled as much as I could to see it firsthand as well and to meet those people, to give them prosperity. People know my history. I planned parties. I trusted people to produce good laws, good government, good products. And obviously, I went through it myself. So I understand where you guys are coming from. The thing is, once someone tells you, it's undeniable, there's another added layer of guilt. It's not because I'm a military tactician.
Right.
It's because it's the conscious physics. I am not going to hell, and I don't want any of you to either. I'm immortal. I want you to move in the positive direction. Be immortal with me. That is why I'm clear of thought. That is why I'm non-contradictory. And that is why I am so strong. I have no fear at all, because it is for everyone's prosperity. I can rhyme all the time. It is part of our grand symphony.
You can rhyme all the time?
It's a choice. You all can as well. Yeah.
I'm not good at it.
Well, if you want to be, you can. It's a choice. So that's one thing. For all of you, I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. Never do anything you don't want to do. That's a golden rule type of thing. The thing is, if you are choosing to do things that by the law of perfection, you could say, which is harmful, that's something you don't want to do, and that's when you witness things consciously that you do not want in a way. Like lose your power in a way, like get sick and die. When you can do the physics, when you are the healthiest point in your life, like say if it was when you were 10 or when you were 20, if you could be that way after an infinite amount of time, and that's your composition, your collaboration of dictatorship and democracy, you can be that way again. And making good choices is how you do it. That's where talent flows from. That's where appreciation and understanding comes from.
Wait, I gotta call my mom real quick. You mind just waiting here? That's cool. I'm gonna call
yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, you guys.
You just want to chill out with them here?
Yeah, for sure.
If you guys want to visit skyview.design, you can check out the website. We also have universalconsciousness.net as well.
So I've heard of the Skyview design. Like, what is that exactly?
Okay, so Skyview was actually a name that was shared with one of my good friends, someone that I worked for before, and he came up with that name. So it was kind of natural, kind of a shared harmony. And I developed that company to actually represent what I wanted to see the governments do, because I shared the technology with the governments before. I spoke about it. I told people in my workplace. I shared the news with everybody.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And so Skyview Design, we had some mottos like at Skyview Design, the sky is the beginning. The thing is, it's a metaphor. So that's a metaphor. Like heaven is the beginning.
Okay.
And that's the truth. And everybody can actually, if you want to meditate to it, you can remember it. You can think about it. You can recognize the positivity, the functions, the physics, all the scientific categories. I have like over 26 scientific categories and the purpose going in that explain everything perfectly. From artistry, entertainment, physics, everything you can imagine in infinite spectrum.
Yeah.
And it is everybody's company. So you have my personal promise, of course, which is everything that I say is a promise, you could say, in perfect context, of course, that every single thing that I do is for the best interest of all people everywhere. And it's so beautiful because if you just do the math yourself, the amount of taxes that any United States American, for an example, pays for. Now, all of you that are good patriots, for an example, all of you that are wonderful diplomats, whether you are conservative or whether you are, any of the other types of names like Democrats and so on, what your purpose is to do good and to do good for everyone. And if people were to put just a small percentage of what they have paid in taxes towards the systems that I have offered to everyone open format, we would have free food, free electricity, free travel, free infrastructure. We'd have no waste, no pollution. We would have pretty much, I've done the math and I can share it in more detail. You all could actually, in a way, if you don't like the definitions of work that have been perceived as negative, never work a day in your life. You could also have fun, having fun days where you contribute in a socialist type of democratic and you could say you are your own dictator and chooser type of way, your own God. You could contribute maybe 2 days a week and we could have no bills. You could have luxury. We could have housing for every single human being on earth. And we could provide enough food to feed every animal, every lion, every bear, every bird, every fish in the sea. And that's the truth. And that's part of the detail I'm putting in the book. So we're going to have technology of infinite transceiver modules for free energy, things that can actually flow frequency, not only in the sun, but like antennas in the dark, because there's energy everywhere. You guys know this, like your conscious thought.
Yeah.
You all know this. It's so beautiful. And we could do this so quickly. We could end taxes because we could get things working, not in a way of ephemeralization where there's some perceived cost and things get cheaper as you go, but pyrrhically, pyrrhically, I can spell it later, pyrrhically, where people enjoy what they're doing the entire time. And that is what love is all about. We're talking about a perfect system the entire time. And all people have to do is do what I know you will do. Stop making harmful choices. Trust and love and recognize that those systems are a gift from everyone, from the universe. You can call her mother, you can call him God. You can call it me. You can call it you guys speaking with us right now. It is free. Freedom is free. The best things in life are free. That's where those sayings come from.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, you know, enjoy the thought of it, enjoying seeing the detail of it. I've given people the detail in the purpose on the website, Universal Consciousness, as well as Skype.design. They can have it. We all benefit from it. The original currency is what I work with. You know, I work with the universal currency of love. I can never be stopped. You know, it's just not what anybody wants. You know.
Is it a digital currency?
You could say it's a digital currency.
Okay.
I call it Hinlith, actually. So that's something that we've all created together. Hinlith is what you can say a reading of different types of thought. So thought is also related to gamma ray radiation. So you can read people's thoughts. You can actually speak what they are thinking.
Yeah.
You can actually see in infinite detail. This is what I call infinitesimal, when it's in motion because your consciousness is moving. You can see, like the Matrix, a digital network of information of everything that's ever existed.
Wow.
That's how good God is. And absolutely, and everybody knows this. And so it's really simple to see, you know, the harmful stuff, you just end it at its source, you know, and your source will always be you in a beautiful way, as well as everyone else that you accept from and give to. And that's the wonderful thing about reciprocity. So if you look at love and its multifaceted functions, like a diagram of an electrical instrument or the code of the matrix, you can see, for an example, that, and I don't recommend watching the Matrix because it's very violent, of course, but if you've seen it already, historically, the character of Neo, which is an anagram for Aeon to some, the person of the age, you could say, which is all of you in infinite age, could have avoided all of the war, pain and suffering, and had a good conversation. And that diplomacy, that type of love, the things that would have prevented the war between Russia and Ukraine, Afghanistan and the United States, anybody, people that love children in a certain way or a different way that is reciprocal or not, or people that were in love homosexually when they were persecuted in the past, those harmful things would have never happened.
Oh, go on, don't let me interrupt.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing. You know, all of you can do this. It's really, really beautiful. that honesty, that wonderful movement, and that acceptance that, hey, you know, I want what's best for you guys. Whatever you guys do, I'm always going to love you. Of course, I am going to really be efficient myself, and I'm just going to say what the line is for everybody, because people can watch it. See, once somebody just tells you the open truth, you know, from them, people can watch it. They can hold you accountable, like how politicians can be held accountable for what they say and what they do. And those things can be diplomatic and loving. The same thing with criminals. You can give, and you should, every criminal the greatest opportunity you could ever imagine to do good. Yeah. How's it going? Yes, ma'am.
How's it going today?
Well, wonderful. Yeah. How you doing?
What's happening today?
Hi, so he's here to meet a 13-year-old girl and a 5-year-old girl that he wanted to. He said he wanted to get married to them.
If you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to get married to this 13 and 5-year-old girl, and he basically said he wants to have with them, and admitted to wanting to have with them if they're cool with it, of course. And sent his picture to the 13-year-old girl. We're posing as said girl, but he's had real minors before in person. He said he's also been investigated by the DHS for in Malaysia, and yeah, he is here, and we believe that he's committing online solicitation based on a law that says as long as they believe it to be a minor, then it's still illegal. So, yes, ma'am.
And that's how you got the contact?
That's correct.
How will you contact?
Through Instagram.
And is this 13 and 5-year-old?
No, so we were posing as a 13, 5-year-old, and yes, so no real kids were used. We have an app called FaceApp to make adults look like kids, and so we could make me or you like a toddler if we wanted to. But he's, you know, you mentioned you are, right?
Yes, like the loving definition.
Yeah. So
I love everybody.
yeah, so he's real kids before. He's received child, a 14-year-old girl in California. She said she knew this 14-year-old girl who sent you nudes?
Oh yeah, she said she was 14.
And you said her, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, it's all right there, you know.
What do you have in front of you? Is this the
Make sure it's
shade?
closer, Yes, this is pretty much all of them. A lot of filler BS here, but so the folded things are basically the meat and potatoes. So this is him giving his address, inviting them. This is him talking about his other girlfriend saying I love you. This is him talking about Kayla. She sends me photos of her face. That's really sexy. Trying to get where he dropped the age, but it's in the very. He knew his age. I mean, he knew it in the very beginning. Trying to see what's exactly going on. Oh, okay. I look forward to meeting you. Yeah, I look forward to meeting you. And we.
This is your fire.
Yeah, like that. You want to marry them? Right?
If they wanted to marry me, then absolutely, yeah, I would be open to it.
Okay, and this is about the 5 and 13-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely,
okay.
yeah.
And you are, by definition...
By the good, positive definition.
Okay, so...
So, of course, the harm-free ones. If you go to Webster's dictionary, Webster actually gives a negative definition, calling it a restorative. Like, there's been some things that people have called ADHD, which good speed and things like that.
Okay, so, just never had... You're still good with that if you wanted to, I'm perfect. Yeah. If you want to.
Guys, make sure that kid is not in your guys' video.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, we're definitely not posting that kid. If he is, we're going to blur it out completely. I mean, I understand.
Other people work there.
I understand. I mean,
I have no idea what's going on.
okay, I understand. Okay.
You know what I mean? I understand what you guys are trying to do. I appreciate that. And I do not know what's going on, but we'll keep it up.
I mean, yeah, we call the cops, all right? So,
That's wonderful.
okay. If you want to come.
Is this all something that I
All you need, absolutely. These are out of, yeah, these are out of order now, but I can screen record everything for y'all, or give y'all a login, doesn't matter. But Kayla's 14, she really like. This is the real Kayla that sent.
You live here, right, Josiah?
Yeah, I agree, yeah. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here's your where you solicit it. We could have. Yeah, yeah. You sent all these messages, right? You weren't hacked or anything?
No, no,
Okay.
okay. From what I've seen, of course, I mean, right. Obviously, you know,
I didn't read anything that you sent, right?
I'll get your information. I'll go over
This is him. And I'm just gonna find an age for you, then I'll stop the bothering you with this here. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, he referred to the 5-year-old sister as sexy and everything. Like, he's just very, very. I mean, we did drop the age in the beginning. I mean, I know. I mean, it's still on order now. Yeah, but I don't think he lives in a house. He lives on the side of the highway or something. Like he's not there. So I love you very much. Man, I'd have to send that to you guys. It's all bunched up now, but
my business card.
Okay. This is your business card?
Yeah, I'd love you to enjoy our systems.
This is the best shot right here.
ALEX. Oh, and this is where he sent this. Yeah, he said you're Maddie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the very beginning of the conversation. Good job, Maddie. I don't know why he started with that, but we say yes, I'm 13. How about you? Then he said I'm 36. But it's fine, great, obviously. When we say we're 13 many more times, but that's just like what I can find right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have a detective from our juvenile aid section. Okay. A little bit more adverse on what's kind of going on, what's coming down. Sure. And he's gonna want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Our recording party. We're just gonna have that for a little bit and go from there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Are we ready? Do you want to get more specific details? Yeah. You want to go over it?
And these messages right here, sir, they're for all the people.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll hold on to them for now.
Yeah, absolutely. We know this one.
Yeah, sure.
40th State.
Okay. And why am I being arrested? I would actually not agree to this, obviously. Okay. You mean I'm being arrested for promoting good?
Well, I can't talk about it, but
I would recommend that you actually don't arrest me because that would be a crime.
Can you spread your legs, please? Wider. Thank you. And we'll pat down inventory of your bags. Go for it.
Vacation.
You can make good decisions from any point at any time, actually.
there anything sharp that's going to poke around you?
No.
Is this all your stuff right here? Okay, so we'll take you to the stuff with us. So this stuff here is always here for this. This stuff here will so if you want to actually
How you doing? Just for loitering, it's just racing.
I actually shop here, so I do purchase items here. And I did ask actually if I could see here as well if I was purchasing from Starbucks.
But that's the reason that
Giving me your
trespassing.
warning. Okay. So what did I do wrong according to you then?
Just loitering. Just loitering.
I actually asked them, so technically this was approved. I want you to make good judgment as well.
Yes, we'll do.
Yeah.
But I've seen you here all the time.
Yeah, I stopped here. Yeah.
I haven't seen you purchase anything, but that doesn't mean we didn't buy anything. I'm not looking for
You can see everything that exists actually with love. So yeah, pistachios, things like that. I've said hi to you. You see.
Yes, I've seen you over here. I asked you.
So I recommend that you're honest.
That's
For one thing. Honesty, of course.
Just the loitering. Just loitering. That's the only reason I'm giving you a trespass.
Loitering, are you using as a negative definition as a crime?
No, it's not a crime. But I'm having you trespass.
Then why warn about it then?
So
That's
this
not
is him
notifying you that you're not allowed
And this is okay, you're trespassing me then. Okay.
For 1 year. Okay? So,
Where's your property line started?
Okay, so you admit that you're actually going against freedom and rights.
I guess they are. I don't know.
Okay, let them know.
it's Neo Models. So it's Neo Models.
You guys vote Democrat.
Shopping center.
So it's the lead, David, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's the entire parking lot.
Yeah, because we're gonna have that.
Do you understand?
Gas station.
I'm not asking you.
Yeah, I understand everything that's happening. So,
No, but do you understand where the property line starts and where you're not?
pretty much what this block or
Yeah, the shopping center.
okay.
And parking lot on our store. That's where you're not.
Okay.
So in a year, you come onto the property in that boundary that you described, it's a municipal offense. So
Okay, so now are you guys ready to do the right thing? Everybody.
do you understand the trespass? So what
the law.
do you understand?
Do you
Well,
understand it?
I understand what you're saying, and I don't agree to the crimes that you're committing.
Okay,
Not committing
That's
crimes,
not-
but do you want a copy of this?
Well, this is abuse of human rights, especially when people on the property actually welcomed me and I had permission and I am actually a customer on
So that's not
site.
the question I just asked you. The question I asked you was if you would like a copy.
I would prefer if people stop printing on paper that
Now
came
you're
from
not answering the
trees that were
question.
cut down.
I'm asking
That's
you
an
a
answer.
direct question. It's either yes or no. So
No,
do
I
you
don't
a
want
copy?
people doing more harm.
So that's
So
so
no
no,
copy.
you do not want a copy of the
Yeah,
trespass.
I'm explaining it
no copy.
lovingly for you guys to understand.
No copy.
Okay. All right.
I'll sign that.
Doesn't understand being trespassed.
I want to make sure I gather your items. These items are yours. Okay. All right.
If you guys want to cover this,
Of course.
maybe that.
That's my bad. My solar battery.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, I recommend you all do the right thing. Right away, because this is pretty insane, actually, what folks are doing. You know?
He got down there. Look at his that.
I am your true Messiah. It's permanent. It was democratically selected, and it was also predestined. So enjoy the age of Aquarius, ladies and gentlemen, and absolute clarity, Holy Spirit, to your consciousness. But, of course, not the harm. Don't enjoy the harm.
Let us know that he's almost out. Yeah, baby, snap you INT. How do you get like this though?
I don't know.
There's no way to ask him what happened. He's like, what are you talking about?
Yes, guys.
We can win. Oh, okay. Okay. But, you know, now she works for Tommy. She's trying to tip off this predator. So we'll be showing proof of that in the video.
Which one of you provided this?
I did, sir.
You did? Okay.
Yeah. It's all yours.
Okay, I'm going to recover this as evidence.
Okay, that's fine.
I think I really need anything specific from you other than just what they had initially told you to provide.
Okay.
And the block exchange and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna process and everything.
yeah. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to do like a really in-depth report. I mean, you just we're going to cover. We're going to sit down with them.
That's democracy at work, baby.
But want to do just the initial, what happened here, and then we'll pick up all the rest of the stuff.
Okay. So you will do the.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed that catch, and most importantly, the end result, be sure to join locals in the pinned comment. That is how to keep us going, catching these creeps nationwide, and even internationally, if you count Canada. So be sure to join locals in the pinned comment. And of course, sub to us on Rumble. Rumble's a completely free platform that actually supports what we do, where I wouldn't have to put all these disclaimers and all that stuff. But yeah, sub to us on Rumble too, because that is where we go live. And if you could have seen this guy's arrest happen live in real time if you were sub to Rumble. So be sure to sub there, and of course join the locals. So leave a like and sub.
What's up, guys? In the pinned comment, join our locals. It's only $5 a month, and you get tons of exclusive content, including a fire lieutenant catch that has never before been seen on YouTube, and we cannot post till after his trial, 2.5 hours long. Awesome job, because he got arrested. And a bunch of Stinghouse content that definitely is safer on locals, including a new Stinghouse video in Toronto, where it's absolutely berserk, on his knees and everything. So be sure to join our locals, and also you get to continue to keep this movement going despite whatever YouTube does. The power should not be in YouTube's hands to end this awesome movement that we have going. Arrest in 39 states should not be stopped by YouTube. It should be in the hands of you guys to keep this movement going, so consider supporting us. And also, you get to see a ton of content and exclusive live streams. Pin comment.